The Center for Human Rights Faculty of Law at the University of Pretoria has condemned the arrest and bail denial of Zimbabwean journalist Blessed Mhlanga. Mhlanga was detained after being charged with inciting violence through online broadcasts. It's believed this is linked to an interview that he may have done with a war veteran. Let's get more details now. We speak to Hopewell Chin'ono, journalist, filmmaker and human rights activist who's joining us live now. Hopewell, good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. So firstly, let's just begin with your reaction to these developments, Blessed.
Well, thank you very much for hosting me. I think the arrest and denial of bail and subsequent jailing of Blessed Mhlanga is a very ridiculous thing. Blessed Mhlanga, as a journalist, he did not commit any crime. So they arrested him on the pretext that he had broadcast something that would incite the public. But in essence, if that were the case, they should have arrested the management of HSTV, the employers of Blessed Mhlanga, because Blessed did not actually utter these words. They were uttered by a war veteran. But we know that the real reason why they've arrested him is because he interviewed a political activist and whistleblower who brought documents to the program and to the interview that was being held by Blessed, showing that the president was involved in an attempt to steal a public bank, the Post Office Savings Bank of Zimbabwe, which has over 1 million subscribers.
And the Center for Human Rights saying that he should be allowed to do his work and journalists should be allowed to do their work without any interference. His lawyers are appealing the decision to deny him bail. Do you think they'll succeed?
Well, they are supposed to succeed. He should have been given bail at magistrate level. But as always, when you are arrested for exposing corruption, they deny you bail at the magistrate's court. We hope that on Wednesday he will get bail. The bail hearing was supposed to take place today, but as always, the state found a reason to postpone the bail to Wednesday, saying that they had not actually applied their mind to the paperwork that needed to be filed with the courts.
Hopewell, you've been there. You know where he is right now. You and I have even spoken about some of what you've gone through. Definitely, this is not definitely not easy on anyone, and it certainly will not be easy on him right now.
It is not easy at all. The conditions in Zimbabwean prisons are atrocious. Blessed is a young journalist with a young family who have been left now without their father. He's the main breadwinner. And he is an up-and-coming journalist in terms of broadcasting and investigative journalism. So the fact that they've gone for someone who has got such a profile like him is meant to instill fear in other journalists, to say that if you report or give a platform to anyone who exposes corruption in the Zimbabwean government, you will be arrested and denied bail and then jailed. The Zimbabwean government is now like a criminal cartel with the Don at the top, and the Don is the president. There are so many scandals that have been covered by both Zimbabwean journalists and regional journalists, and nothing has happened because, as always, every scandal in Zimbabwe has got one common denominator, and it is the president.
Is he likely to get a fair trial?
I do not think that he will get a fair trial at all, because this is a political issue. He is now a political prisoner in essence. So I do not think that he will get a fair trial at magistrate's level. But our High Court has been a little bit different in terms of treating these matters. Sometimes you do get a fair hearing. I was arrested 3 times and spent 85 days in prison, and it was the High Court that eventually acquitted me. But the magistrate's court is totally captured.
And finally then, you know, when you often speak to government on some of these matters, they say that they're not involved, and they say these are judicial processes. It's certainly something that has nothing to do with them, and they talk about how for them they continue to allow journalists to do their work, and it's one thing that they've consistently said even on this show as well.
Well, with the Zimbabwean government, they do not practice what they preach. They say one thing and do a different thing altogether. There are so many cases of people that have been incarcerated. Job Sikala, a former member of parliament for the opposition, spent 2 years in prison for a crime he did not commit and was denied bail at every turn. Eventually, the case was thrown out by the High Court. So these arrests and imprisonments are meant to instill fear, not just in journalists, but even in political activists, to say if you go onto the streets and you demonstrate, which is allowed by the Constitution, will throw you into prison. If you expose corruption, something that should be applauded by any sane government, you are going to be thrown into prison. So it's a way, it's a political tool that is used because the judiciary is captured. And the president has himself been on the record saying that they control everything, and he was boasting about it. So what is happening now is not a surprise.
Hopewell, thank you so much for your time, and certainly we'll reach out to the government as well to also speak to them about this matter, and hopefully also see if his lawyers can speak as well as to what exactly is going on. That's Hopewell Chin'ono, journalist, filmmaker and human rights activist.